how we came to be happy again. Hey, Vinyl community. Elliot here, Lazy Dogs Records. I'm doing my second video of the day because I wanted to get in on Edwin, that Pretty Green Vinyl guy. He's got over 1,000 subscribers now, well deserved. Got a great channel, and he's got a contest, and I neglected getting in on it. Saw a reminder that the deadline is fast approaching. I said, well, let me go ahead and do that one. I love contests. He's got one called the 10 Questions Contest, and those are always fun because you just get to search through your records and say, okay, this will work, you know. Then you get to show albums that you've got. So that's what I'm going to do. First of all, what's playing in the background? Billie Holiday. That's the only, there's no self-titled. It's one of those Everest Records, Archive of Folk and Jazz Music records. I love that reissue label. They no frills, you know, and they just put out some great reissues, compilations, things like that from blues and jazz and folk artists. So you know, love Billie Holiday. That's what we're playing. Okay, so there's 10 questions, and the first question is a song that makes you cry. Well, I didn't even have to think about this one, although you know, you could probably come up with several. Anybody could come up with several, but from Jason Isbell, from his album Something More Than Free, from what, 2014 maybe, something like that. And this whole album is just a real moving album, almost a spiritual experience listening to it. And the particular song that just puts, you know, if I'm by myself, it just gets me. Not that it's exactly, it's relatable, but it's not, you know, like the exact situation I've experienced. But the point is, he strikes a nerve or makes a point that it's universal, you know, even though your situation may not hit the exact one. So this one is song Speed Trap Town. And just the way he starts it off, he says, she said, it's none of my business, but it breaks my heart. I dumped a dozen cheap roses in my shopping cart. Made it out to the truck without breaking down. Everybody knows you in a speed trap town. And the chorus is, and it varies, but one version of the chorus is, and it never did occur to me to leave till tonight, when there's no one left to ask if I'm all right. I'll sleep till I'm straight enough to drive, then decide if there's anything that can't be left behind. So he's somebody that's just struggling. In this particular case, he's struggling with a parent who's dying. And it says, another verse says, doctor said Daddy wouldn't make it a year, but the holidays are over and he's still here. How long can they keep you in the ICU? Veins in the skin like a faded tattoo. Oh man, that's just heartbreaking lyrics there from that song. So that's number one, song that makes you cry. Number two, song with a place in the title. And I picked this one because I don't think I've ever shown this album on the VC. This is the South Coast of Texas from Guy Clark. This one is produced by Rodney Crowell. And the title track, of course, is a particular place, the South Coast of Texas. And it also has a song on here, Lone Star Motel, which will be, or hotel. Yeah, hotel, which will be another place mentioned here. But not only is it in the song and in the album title, but you can see the place, South Coast of Texas. You can see it illustrated on the album jacket. Okay. And number 3, a song with a color in the title. Hadn't had a chance to showcase this album, I don't think, maybe once on the VC, but a great cowboy band, modern day cowboy band, Riders in the Sky. I say modern day, they're still around, but they were playing in the 80s. And on this particular album, this is a really good album with color. Blue Montana Skies, which was written by Doug Green, who is right there. And he is also a curator, I believe, at the Country Music Foundation Museum. And there's another color on here. There's, let's find it here, Blue Bonnet Lady. Blue Bonnet Lady. So 2 different songs with color on that particular album. And number 4, a song you would like to see a movie made from. And I'll go with one from Townes Van Zandt. For the Sake of the Song is the album, and the particular song is Tecumseh Valley. Story, I'd love to see it fleshed out. A story of a girl who's sent away from Spencer, where her father, a miner, says, the winter's coming and I can't provide for you here. The coal's going to run out before winter's over. And he sends her to Tecumseh Valley. And she goes there in search of work. But when she returns after winter's over, she finds her father has passed away. She goes back to Tecumseh Valley and wanders the streets, becomes a streetwalker in despair, and dies in the doorway to the tavern where she had worked originally in town. So just a heart-wrenching song there. I think you could really develop it. A good screenwriter and director could really make something out of that. Number 5 is a song you would play to a friend who's never heard one of your favorite artists. Well, one of my favorite artists is Robert Johnson. Of course, he didn't have a huge catalog. It was only recorded twice. This is the album King of the Delta Blues Singers. And I would play one of the songs that really grips me and moves me whenever I hear it. The human emotion he can express both with his voice and with his acoustic guitar is just overwhelming. I would do Come On Into My Kitchen from Robert Johnson. And number 6 was a boy or a song with a boy or girl's name in it, or a male or female name in it. A lot of people would show the At Fillmore East, but I'll show this the second Allman Brothers album, Outer Wild South. And the song was written by Richard Betts, Dickie Betts, in memory of Elizabeth Reed. And I know a lot of you probably know the story about that. It's an instrumental, and they used to go out to the graveyard cemetery near where they lived in Macon, Georgia, and he was trying to think of a name for the instrumental, and they would go out there to that cemetery and hang out, relax, things, and maybe compose a little bit, carry the girls out there and stuff like that, girlfriends. And Dickie saw a headstone, and it was in memory of Elizabeth Reed. So that's how he got the title for that great instrumental. Number 7, a song you'd love to hear live. I've never seen her in concert. I would love to see her from one of her early albums, Bonnie Raitt. This album, Streetlights, and the particular song is the John Prine composition, Angel from Montgomery. I've heard her sing it on, you know, on records and on YouTube, things like that, and on television. But I just love to be there in person to hear her do such a great song and performed by such a great artist. She really popularized that song. It wasn't a hit single or anything like that, but it was a fan favorite from Bonnie Raitt. Number 8. First song you remember dancing to. That's a tough one. I was a teenager in the mid 70s to late 70s, and you know, we didn't dance. You know, you were either disco or you were rock or something else. And we my crowd was not disco, so we weren't into dancing. But we did start when we started, you know, going to clubs and hearing bands and things like that. Once we became of age, uh, then we'd go out and dance, you know, some. And I always found, you know, if you didn't have anything else going for you, you know, you weren't this great, strapping, good-looking hunk of a guy, or you weren't, you know, the wittiest guy in the crowd, or you weren't, you know, whatever, you know, attracts the the opposite sex. If you get out there and dance, because girls always wanted to dance, and most guys didn't want to dance uh, for the sake of dancing. So I'd get out there and dance, you know, because I got a little attention from the young ladies by being, you know, hey, come on, Elliot, let's go dance. They'd drag me out there, and not really have to drag me because they were showing me some attention, so I'd get out there and dance. But we would go see the Bill Early Band a lot. And one of the songs I remember that he covered, he did a lot of his own music, but he covered a lot as well. But one of the songs that he used to play in clubs and that we would get out and dance to was Around and Around, Chuck Berry song. It's not actually on this greatest hits album, but we used to love when he'd play Around and Around. We'd all get up there and start dancing. Okay, number 9, the song you want played at your funeral. Then it's on this album, Roses and Snow from Emmylou Harris. And the song I want played at my funeral is the traditional song Wayfaring Stranger. What a beautiful song. Telling, you know, the story of a person, you know, basically the idea that, you know, you're just in this world temporarily. You're a poor wayfaring stranger traveling through this world of woe, and you know your time has come, and you're passing on, and you're headed to the promised land. Basically, you're headed to heaven. You're headed home. I'm going home to see my mother, and then another frame, another time when it comes around, I'm going home to see my father, and then you're going home to see my Savior. So, Wayfaring Stranger is just such a beautiful, beautiful song, and I can about halfway play it on the guitar, flat pick it on the guitar. So, that's a song I would want played at my funeral. I hope that doesn't come up. I hope anytime soon. I would say, oh, go back to those VC videos Elliot did. He says what he wanted played at his funeral. I hope it's long removed from that. That doesn't come up anytime soon. All right, and finally, question number 10 was your favorite song from your best concert experience. Well, best concert experience, I've had several really good concert experiences, but the best rock concert in a big arena that I ever went to would have been in the spring of '77, I believe it was. And it was at Cameron Indoor Arena in Durham, North Carolina, which is Cameron is where Duke plays basketball. It's not a really big arena, maybe 6,000, something like that. So it wasn't huge. But we had the worst. It was a Sunday night, and it was prom weekend. We had gone to the prom, gone to the beach that night, and come back early Sunday, I guess it was. Me and two of my friends came back from the beach early Sunday so that we could go to Durham to this concert. And we had the worst seats you can imagine. There were these big, iron structural pillars. We were at the very top in a corner, not the center top, but the very top back in a corner. And in order to see, there was this, big steel, or it could have been cement, I don't remember, structural pillar there, supporting the building. And we had to sit on the edge of our seat and lean up just to see the stage. But it was the Born to Run tour, Bruce Springsteen. So we saw him on tour. I saw him on tour when he released Born to Run. And the song that just blew me away, the whole concert blew me away, but the song that blew me away more than any other was Jungle Land. Oh man, you talking about what a performance that E Street band put on. It was just an amazing concert. Jungle Land is what stands out in my mind. The whole album, I remember, Backstreets, and I remember Thunder Road and everything. But what just really was the kicker was Jungle Land. I don't know if that was like after a huge build up. That was because it's the last song on side 2 of the album. I don't know if that kind of brought things to kind of a conclusion, building up to that, or where it fit in the set list, but it just blew me away. Okay, well, that's my contribution to 10 questions contest for Edwin at Pretty Green Vinyl Guy. Congratulations on your over 1,000 now subscribers. And I'll remind everybody, be kind to your neighbors, because, folks, we're all neighbors. It is a river of life.